Good morning, Summoners. Bugs here with a new series for you, the Idiot Survival Guide to League. The goal with this series is to help newer players to League not feel so overwhelmed by the massive amount of content offered by the game. All credit for the video idea goes to my little brother who wanted a video series for newer players. Let's get into it. My 12-year-old brother picked up League of Legends a year or two ago and has played sparingly, getting to level 17. He recently commented, "You should make a video about how idiots can get really good, really fast strategies." I'm sorry, bro, but just as there's no get-rich-quick scheme, there's no get-good-fast scheme either. With that being said, these are the most helpful tips for new players that should help you learn the game at the fastest pace. Step 1. Patience. Getting really good at this game takes hard work. Any level 30 account can get bronze. There's just way too much to learn at the start of the game. Have you ever played sports growing up? I played basketball, and my first couple practices were just ball handling and passing. You can't score if you can't get to the rim, and you can't destroy the nexus if you can't get to it first. So stay humble and be patient. While you can probably hop into any first-person shooter and have quick success, League is a much more in-depth game. Don't give up after a few games. The more you play the game, the more fun it gets and the more you will improve along the way. This takes us to step 2, mouse and keyboard. You don't need a fancy setup to play League, but you at least need a mouse, preferably wired. Any decent mouse from Walmart should do the trick if you're on a budget. A wired mouse is more reliable and you don't have to worry about batteries. It's a win-win. Once you have your proper setup, head to a custom game and mess around with mouse speed settings. Find something that is quick but comfortable. You want to be able to mouse around the map and line up your abilities. Fast enough to react quickly, but not so fast you can't aim. Once you have your mouse set up, start using your abilities. Go to the practice tool and set up some dummies. Take some time to learn using your abilities. Use the cooldown reset tool in practice mode to rotate through all your abilities a few times. Get the feel for using each of them. You don't have to be perfect, you're just starting out. Once you can use your abilities without too much hunt and peck, you can head to step 3, picking a champion. I recommend sticking with one champion to start out. I played 3 different champions from level 1 to level 30, Malphite, Ashe, and Irelia, and now I don't play any of them. I know you're excited to try out all 130 plus champions, but it can be very frustrating learning the game when you have to learn new abilities each time. If your goal is to have fun, and that would be more fun for you, then go for it. Play them all. But if you want to get good quickly, pick a few champions and focus on those. Some easy recommendations are Ashe, Tryndamere, Annie, Caitlyn, and Malphite. As an aside, throughout your time playing League, I do suggest you play every champion in a normal game at least once. This will give you an idea of what that champion does and how you can play against it as you get more and more competitive. Now go smack some bots. Step 4, bot games. Bot games are a really good way to hone your skills. Play several of them. Try out a few champions until you have found a few you can enjoy as you progress. It's okay to have questions as you are playing versus bots. This is just to get a feel for the game. Keep practicing your abilities, get quicker at knowing what ability to use in certain situations, learn about where to be, basic macro plays, video on that coming soon, how to lane, how to team fight, and learn to love League of Legends. As you try out new things, you should be refining what we will talk about in the next step, step 5. Item builds. The good thing about the game now is that Riot has gotten pretty decent about having recommended item builds. When you first get into the game, you can buy some of the starting items. Generally, following the recommended build path will yield success. Once you have bought your items, you can hit the Rift. Now, as you save up gold from last hitting, it is important to keep buying items. There's no need to save up large amounts for the item all at once. You can simply purchase the component items and then upgrade them later on as you get more gold. If you're playing Ashe, for example, and you base with 800 gold, you might opt to purchase 2 longswords and 2 potions to work toward your Essence Reaver. This keeps you strong while still spending gold on an item you will eventually want. It is generally a good idea to focus on one item at a time and then move on to the next item on the list after you have that one completed. Most champions have a 3-item core build, as most players call it. These are a set of items that you will build on a particular champion almost every game without fail. And this does not include your boots. Back to our Ashe example, your core build would be Essence Reaver, Renon's Hurricane, and Infinity Edge. Find out what the core build is for your champion and work towards that every game. When you finish your core build, check the game time and try to build it faster the next game. This means you are getting gold quicker, which reflects improvement in your gameplay, either through champion or minion kills. Always work to beat your timing and always keep improving. Step 6. When to switch to player versus player. As you are feeling more and more confident in your ability to smash bots, you might think you are ready for PvP. Personally, I never had to play versus bots. Now the game forces you to play your first few games against them. I think this is really helpful as it helps you learn the general gameplay and get your fingering down, but I recommend moving to player versus player as soon as you feel comfortable. While early on opponents will have bad habits, the bots make some plays and decisions that just aren't realistic and don't reflect the real game at all. The game also does a good job matching you up with players of similar skill, so you should be okay to jump into PvP when you are ready. If you end up not doing well, head back to bots and refine your skills. You might even want to try intermediate bots for a few rounds. Intermediate bots make a little better decisions and get gold quicker, so it will prove to be a challenge. Once you have feasted on the souls of a few bots, then give PvP another go. You have to understand that PvP will be frustrating when you first start out. People will camp in bushes and do crazy things that the bots will never do, but people are random and computer programs are not, so remember step 1 and be patient. You will improve with each game. As a sidebar, I want to take a moment to mention runes and masteries because they are such a large part of the game. At the making of this video, Riot is changing the way these will function, hopefully making runes more impactful. But as you're just starting, these are not very important. As you level up, put a mastery point in something that looks interesting to you, spend the 1 IP on a rune for your open slot. Once you hit level 30, you'll want to be checking guides on what champion-specific runes and masteries to be running, but for this guide, any old runes and masteries will do. And when the new runes officially hit live and aren't just on the PvE, there will be countless videos and guides on what to run on who, so make sure you look them up. This should get you rolling in League of Legends and offer a good starting point for you as a summoner. Hopefully this has eased some of the learning curve for you, and the rest of the series will make it even easier. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps many newer League of Legends players. I plan on releasing more videos in my Idiot Survival Guide to League, geared toward bringing you knowledge and helping accelerate the advancement of your skills. Until next time, good luck and keep climbing.